I don't know if we have time. We are live, Rabbi Isai. All right. Rabbi Isai, just before we start, we have a minute or two. So this one is from Avrami, from Borough Park. No, but this really addresses an issue that a lot of people are concerned about. It says like this: Hi Rebelli, I still didn't miss a daf from Me'ila, and I love every shir. Just wondering, since Berachos, Daf Yud Gimel, the video playback at time freezes. Is that a sync? And something skips a little. So we have a little bit of an issue since my phone died, and we do have the new video camera, the really nice video camera, and it's gonna really enhance a lot of things in the shir. We're going to be able to add pictures and different stuff to the camera. What's that? I don't know what that is.
South Bend, Indiana is watching.
South Bend, Indiana is watching. Shalom Aleichem, South Bend, Indiana. I had a sister that lived there. Not anymore. Catch. All right. So he says like this. It didn't happen before, so we're working on it. Bekitzer, just hold on tight. We gained one thing. We gained a new guy here because he was watching online for a while, and now he said it's so choppy I had to come in person. So, okay. And then regards to my buddy Nachman Seltzer. And P.S. I got a lot of my buddies in Borough Park to subscribe, and they love it. Now he says like this. He says that he's a speech therapist, and what we learned yesterday, and he says he's a Haimish Yid. He says. We learned last night the Tosfos is stressing the Zayin in Tiskiri, and he says because he's a speech therapist, he understands that the Zayin is surrounded by voiceless consonants, and this way, Bekitzer, and a good point he says, if you listen to people say Tiskel mitzvahs, it sounds like a sin and not a Zayin. They say Tiskel mitzvahs, so mainly you have to be makbet to say Tizka or Tizkiru. That's his point. Yeah. That's in Shema. You don't have to say. You could say Tiskel Mitzvah is great. All right, we have a guest here from Manchester, from the Chaburo. Took a taxi from Yerushalayim. Gegi Mechlowitz, that's there. Shkoyach. And then we got an email here. I don't know where this is from. You'll tell me. It says, "Hi Rabbi Stefansky, apologies for sending second email. Just to reiterate." It is early days, but Yeshir is truly helping me, give me koyach to go weiter. I wasn't able to find the local in-person shir, so was worried about not having the motivation you get from being part of the Chabura. Last cycle I managed just over 2 years, but ended up dropping out when we moved houses and I couldn't find the shir that worked. When you watch your full shir, Baruch Hashem, you really feel part of it despite sitting thousands of miles away in Edgware, London. Mazeh? We don't even talk about that part. Where is that?
It's a nice neighborhood. Yeah.
Keep up the amazing Avodas Torah, and thank you, Koltov Adam Labato. You guys know him? Adam Labato. Shkoyach Adam, keep it up. You do know him? Yosef Biliak knows you. Oh, Yosef Biliak, I have something for you. You made it to Mishpacha magazine. This week, Mishpacha magazine, you're in there. And so we're all here, but you especially. Here he is standing up right here. This is the Siyam Hashas. And this is him. You're wearing a knapsack with red straps on it? What, are you coming up to see? And this is our Chabura right here. Check it out. All right, fine.
That's me.
That's him. Whoa, here, put him on.
That's me. Hi. In case you couldn't see me, good. It's from the back.
All right, shine. That's Yosef Biliak. He takes care of you. If you're not getting responses from the emails, it's Yosef Biliak. And with that, let's go. I don't even know where to put this. We're holding today's Daf Tezayin. We're starting Daf Tezvav and Beis on the bottom. Rabbi say we were asked from the building next door if you could please refrain. They gave us permission, but now there's some neighbors that are not happy with it. So, if possible, please park in the beginning of the block, or maybe even on Ayalon, do some exercise, on Gilo and come back around.
Maybe base.
Nachar Revivim 23 is a problem right now. Although we have the Varabayit here, and he says it's not a problem. Till 8 o'clock, and then now there are people saying even before 8 o'clock. At night, certainly, please don't park there. Lama nismuchu, we're working already on our new building. The new building has parking, the whole. What's the connection between tents and streams? Rashi says a halim means a tent. Tosfos doesn't like it. He says a halim in that pasuk actually refers to spices. He says it's referring to the pasuk right before that. Just like when you go into a river, you go into the mikvah, you go from tameh to tar. What's oyalim? Oyalim is referring to Torah, like the famous pasuk, Adam ki yamas ba'oyal. That what? Ein divrei Torah miskayimim el b'mishum meimus atzmi olel. You know the famous Gemara. So oyal is Torah. So over here, oyalim malim es adam. If you learn Torah, it will lift you up. If you have chayva, if you have averis, Torah is mechaper. It's known Torah is mechaper on a lot of different averis. If you don't know how to do tshuva on something, Torah is always the way to go. So we learned in the Mishnah, if a person reads the words out of order, he's not yoitza, according to one sheet. The Rabbi Ami, Rabbi Asi, Avakok Hatrin Leginono, the Rabbi Lazar. Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Asi were building a chuppah for Rabbi Lazar. Rabbi Lazar was getting married. While you guys are working, I'm obviously not going to dirty my hands here before my chasen. I'm a chasen, I'm not going to work. I'm going to go to Beis Medrash, and I'll make a deal with you. I'll go there, you work here, I'll listen to something, I'll hear something, I'll come back and bring you a Dvar Torah. And I'll bring it back and tell it to you. He heard a Tana, meaning a person that says over Mishnah, it's not necessarily a Tana. And he said in front of Rabbi Yochanan, a person who made a mistake in Shema, he knows for a fact he might have missed a word, but he doesn't remember where he missed it. If he's in the middle of a perek, he should go back to the beginning of the perek. Bein perek leperek, if he's holding between prokim, yachzil leperek rishon, he should go all the way to the beginning. Bein ksiva leksiva. Now I forgot who it was. Somebody here, I think it might have been you, Doc. You're a doctor? Yeah, you did mention that. Huh?
He's a
flying doctor. Well, I do know one thing. Your son, here he is. Here's an 8-year-old that came over to me, stumped me yesterday with a kasha. He asked me, why does it say, Cheresh she'enai, Cheresh hamidaber ve'ena shemeya? He says, isn't the Cheresh, doesn't that mean that he doesn't hear? So it should just say, Cheresh hamidaber. That's coming from an 8-year-old, Givaldik. So that's our youngest participant. So anyways, his father mentioned the other day that it happens a lot. You're flying through Shema, and you know you just said Uvisharecha, but you don't know where you are in Visharecha. It could be the end of the
first paragraph.
Yeah, Mazel Tov to Reb Levi Friedman, Yishkoyach, beautiful bar mitzvah. Your son should be Zoicha to participate in our shir, the Karev. All right, so if a person is confused, so I thought, I timed it today, because I thought maybe you could see by the seconds. I timed it, I went from beginning of Shema to Visharecha in 9 seconds. So if a person that's what happens. You fly also Visharecha, wait a minute, so you start calculating. How long was I here? I only started Shema about 5.5 seconds ago, then L'chayra I'm in the first one. But if it's in between, 13 seconds, maybe I slowed down today, so I don't know where I'm at. Am I at the first one or the second? Where do I go? If you're confused, you have to start from the beginning. You have to go. In other words, you probably only said the first of Visharecha, so you start from V'hayim Shemaya. Now read this, Rabbi, say by yourselves. Don't peek in the art scroll. Don't look in anywhere. Look what it says here. If he didn't start the pasuk L'man Yirbu Yimechem, Ava pasuk L'man Yirbu Yimechem. If you already said L'man Yirbu Yimechem, Sirchei Nokat Va'asi. So that means he's already doing it by rod, by his flow. He already knows how to say it. So immediately he's already in the third parasha. That's what it says here. If I were to read it the way I read it initially, it says here that if a person is holding by L'man Yirbu Yimechem, she most likely said Uvisharecha, the second Uvisharecha, because he said L'man Yirbu Yimechem. That's not what Rashi says. Rashi says Ein litois mikan adam es v'yatziv ein tzorch lachzor ela le'emes shaparsha shgura bepiv. Rashi is saying the third parsha he knows better than everything else. And Memela, if he's already holding L'man Yirbu, he probably said the whole parsha correctly, and he should only start from, if he makes a mistake, that means he made a mistake in emes v'yatziv. So he should start v'yatziv. That's how Rashi learns. The Rashba takes issue with this, and the Rashba says, why does a person know the third parasha better than he knows the second parasha? Therefore, the Rashba learns like we basically were learning. In our head, that what? That if a person says, L'man Yirbu Yimechem, he most likely just finished the second Uvisharecha because his head subconsciously knows where he's at. So he goes, Uvisharecha L'man Yirbu Yimechem, so Mela he said Shema correctly. And I looked in the Mishnah Berurah, and the halacha passes like the Rashba. That's how it is. If you start L'man Yirbu Yimechem, you should know that you most likely said Uvisharecha. What are you saying? Because the Rashi is not talking about the Uvisharecha at all. He's not talking if I made a mistake of Uvisharecha. He has no confusion of Uvisharecha. He has a confusion in the third parasha. He doesn't know if he said it correctly. Well, you should know the third parasha, everybody knows very, very well. The Rashba asks the opposite. People know the third parasha less than the second parasha because you don't even have to say the third parasha at night if you don't want to. But according to Rashi, if a person is confused in Uvisharecha, he should go back to the first parasha. He can't bring any raya from the third parasha. According to the Rashba, if a person is confused in Uvisharecha, he could prove it from L'man Yirbu. It's a big nafkamina between Rashi and the Rashba. And that's how we paskin. That's how the Mishnah Berurah says. If a person is confused, he doesn't know if he said Uvisharecha, if he said it from the first parasha to the second parasha, and then he knows that he said L'man Yirbu, you should know that he said everything correctly. What? Yeah, I don't know if that has... How does that help us? Knowing that if he said Uvisharecha. Zor the Gemara. Also of Amar Lu. So Rabbi Lazar the Chassan comes back and he tells him what he just learned. Amrulei, so they told him, Ilulei banu elas shmoi dov hazeh dayenu. That was beautiful. It was worth coming here. It was worth building a chuppah. Shkoyach. Says the Mishnah. Humanim kairim b'roisha ilonu b'roisha nidbach. Craftsmen, workers could be on top of a tree, and they could daven. They could be on top of a wall. They're building a wall. They could daven. So they could say Kriya Shema, says the Mishnah, but they can't say Shemona Esrei. Why? As we're going to see, Kriya Shema, you only need one pasuk to be mechaven, and Shemona Esrei, you need to have kavana, a long kavana. And a person might be concerned they'll fall off the wall, or fall off the tree, so you have to come back down. Chasan poter mikriya Shema layla rishoyna. We had this halacha. Chasan is poter b'shivtecha b'veisecha, as we're going to see in the Gemara. So oisik b'mitzvah poter b'mitzvah. He's preoccupied in his head. The big chiddush that we had in that Mishnah. Remember the dirshuk test question. Why is a chasan different than any other oisik b'mitzvah? Because this is a mitzvah in his head. He's not actually physically doing a mitzvah. He's thinking about a mitzvah. And he's poter v'ad moitzoi Shabbos and lo yasa ma'isa. So he's poter all the way for 4 days. If there was no ma'isa, he's still concerned about the psulim. U'ma'isa b'rim gamliel shenosa isha v'kara layla rishayna. So now the Gemara said, the Mishnah says that Gamliel, he wasn't soymach on this heter, and he did say Kriya Shema on the first night. Or v'lo talmidov v'atonu rabbeinu shechasim poter mikriya Shema. So this is Rabbi Gamliel, right? The same Rabbi Gamliel as before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, that's Rabbi Elazar ben Zayir. Sorry, wrong guy. Anyway, so you taught us that you potter from Kriya Shema. And why are you saying Kriya Shema? That's gaiva. There's a lot of problems here. I'm not going to listen to you at all. I need to be mikabel all machus shemayim. In other words, I'm chashuv, says Rashi. A person that's chashuv, and he knows in himself that he could be mechaven, he should be mechaven.
Here in Pshat, he says he just doesn't want to. He wants to make sure it doesn't go Even for a second, he doesn't come to the Chashivas part of it.
Yeah, but you have to understand the whole Gemara. We're going to see soon that you can't just say I'm chashav.
He ignores that.
Right. Of course, the reason is what the Mishnah says. The Pashtus is what the Mishnah says that he doesn't want to do it. But how does he have the right to say that when we know that a chassan can have kavanah? Because he's chashav and he has kavanah. We're going to see a little bit more. Tana Rabbanan. They say Kriya Shema on top of a tree and on a stone wall. So now the Gemara brings a shita that says, and this is the halacha, you could say Shmoyne Esrei on a certain type of tree, like an olive tree and like a fig tree. Why? Because it has a lot of branches and you're not going to fall down, or because it has a lot of branches, too hard to get down. But other trees that are not like the olive tree and the fig tree, you must come down. No, Mispalim. Mispalim is Shemona Esrei. Mispalim is Shemona Esrei. On these trees, you're allowed to daven on top of the tree, but otherwise you have to come down. Ubal Abayis, but the owner, the boss, Benkach ubenkach yored lamato mispal. He has no right to be on top of the tree and say Shemona Esrei. Lefi shein daito miyushev esalav. Because he won't have the proper kavanah on top of a tree. He doesn't have the excuse that a worker has that he doesn't have time to come down. He's working for somebody else. He can't waste time. What about Kriya Shema? We just spoke about Shemona Esrei. Can the boss say Kriya Shema on top of the tree? Yes. Kriya Shema, he could stay on a tree because you don't need that much kavanah. You need only one pasuk. Rabbi Murray the Bashmul Rava. Anytime in Shas, I think anytime in Shas, and it's many times, not many, but probably close to 10 times in Shas, that this is brought down, that Rav Murray, the son of the daughter of Shmuel, in other words, the grandson of Shmuel, but it says the Bas Shmuel. Rashi always brings down the story, over here as well, that Shmuel's daughter, Rachel, was raped by a guy, and out came Rav Murray, but the father was Mizgayer. His name was Isru Giyora, but they never wanted to mention him because his Hirase Shaloi B'Kedusha. The pregnancy happened Shaloi B'Kedusha. So Mamela, this person is called Rav Murray Biro de Bashmol.
The son is mentioned many times. He's mentioned.
Okay, but the Hirase Shaloi B'Kedusha, we don't want to associate Rav Murray with his father. Because at that point, where he came from was Shaloi B'Kedusha. What happened to Isru Giyora? But you see, Rav Murray was a Choshev Talmid Chacham, the grandson of Shmuel. Tanan. See from our Mishnah, you don't need to have kavanah. You have to have kavanah in Shema Shenema, Shema Yisrael, Ulahalonu Oimer, Haskizu Shema Yisrael. You have to be attentive. You have to have kavanah, and it says in that pasuk, Shema Yisrael. Yesterday we had also that's talking about Torah. They have to crush yourself. Lashon Haskis, that's the Gemara later on in the Masechta, on Daf Samach Gimel. That Haskis is crushing, that you have to be Amal B'Torah. But over here the simple pshat is, you have to have kavanah, and it says Shema Yisrael. So we learn from the word Shema Yisrael, that when you say Shema, you have to have kavanah. Ma'ala'alam B'Haskis, just like over there you have to have kavanah, Avkam B'Haskis. Ishtik. So Rava didn't have an answer. What do? In our Mishnah, it seems like you don't have to have kavanah, but Shema Yisrael seems like you do have to have kavanah. So Rava says, Midi Shmi Elach Ba. Is it a trick question? Do you know the answer? You have something that you could tell me? I don't know the answer. Yes, in fact, I do have a good answer. In our Mishnah, that you're standing on a tree and you're reading Shema, it's not pshat that you're still picking apples from the tree and you're saying Shema. You're stopping. You're not doing anything. You're on top of the tree. But Basil say you can continue picking the apples. Taisus points out immediately, it doesn't mean Perek Rishon, the whole entire Perek. It means Pasuk Rishon. If you remember, we had the whole Machlokes, how much you have to be Mechaven, and Rava Paskins, the Pasuk Rishon. Even if they're not giving permission, they take permission from themselves. They have to say Shema. That's why they took the job, knowing that they'll do it. Now they say that today it's different. That when you take a job, it's with the understanding you're going to say the full Shema and full Shema Esrei. So yes, it's included, and you don't have to sign on it. It's just a known thing. If I'm going to take a job by another firm person, he's going to allow me to say Shema Esrei and. What do you mean? It doesn't apply. But how much? We're going to get into the details exactly. I actually, when I was an oval, and this goes back 19 years, and I was working then for somebody, and he gave me reshus to drive home every day for mincha, which is very, very nice of him. But anyway, that wasn't included in it wasn't anticipated, but that was a nice Jewish boss. Toner Rabbanan. What?
Offices that have a mincha, and if you have a minyan and it takes 15 minutes, that's 150 minutes that the balabas is paying per day.
Yeah.
To have people have a
Yeah.
mincha. It's an hour.
And there's a lot of people, and you see we had on the WhatsApp in Ol Sharad, they have a Daf Yomi shir in middle of Ol Sharad. You go in and you sit down and learn Daf Yomi. And what is that? Adarab, it helps the business. It's not 150 minutes minus, it's 150 minutes plus. Tarabanon. A lot of businesses today have Bati Medrash in there, and there's there's businesses that are mechayiv their workers to learn. I heard it.
You want to work for Arachim, you have to learn first later in the morning.
To learn first thing in the morning. Okay. Meridian, Givaldic. Okay, go Meridian. Oh no, I'm sorry. Because Greystone wants to sponsor something here, so I can't. I got to be careful with the. Okay. Torah Bonon. What? So these workers that are doing.
He would pick up his shoes. That was
Yeah.
And he ignored them when they came to him in the field.
Uh-huh.
Only when he came home, he spoke.
Maybe that was it. Okay, I have to look it up. And they daven Shemona Esrei. You have to be mindful of your boss, and you can't daven for the Amid. So it's 5 minutes you're taking away from your balabas. That he's not masking. He's masking you daven Shemona Esrei, and get back to work. But don't be the chazan. And if it's the morning, you don't do Birkus Kehanim. Wow. Okay. So you see the concept of Birkus Kehanim. They had Birkus Kehanim then. I don't know if it's a right to anything, but I don't know what generation it was, but they had Birkus Kehanim. But Tanya, Me'ein Shemona Esrei. You learned that's Me'ein Shemona Esrei. What's Me'ein Shemona Esrei? So yesterday, Robert Link sent me this. I had a different Havinenu, but this is a beautiful thing. He sent me from the prayer book that was issued to the servicemen in England in 1940. It says over here 1940, and as you can see, At the Kodesh Yishim Chakoi Baruch Ata Hashem, Hokel HaKodesh, and it goes right into Havinenu. What's Pshat? This is a serviceman. He's in war. He's in danger. He doesn't have time to say Shemona Esrei. So they gave him the Havinenu. But you see how it works. It's the three first brachas, Hokel HaKodesh regular with Kedusha, and then he goes into Havinenu. Havinenu Hashem Lekeinu Das Brachecha, Omalas Le'Resecha. Each bracha is about 3-4 words. Rachenu goes through all Shemona Esrei, but Bekitzer, Mamish Bekitzer, and it ends off Baruch Atah Hashem Shemei Tefillah, and then you continue with Ritzei. Robert Links is our architect who designed this thing, the 12 windows. By the way, talking about the windows, they were ordered, and the Arab got a psak halacha from his, I don't know what it's called, his rav, his local rabbi in the village, and Imam told him that he's not allowed to make windows for Jews, for a shul. So Mela, we're stuck here. But they are available. I explained to him, it's a Medrash. He did not even mechalik exactly. The windows are available for sponsorship. $2,500 each, and there's 12 in the base Medrash. If you buy all 12, we'll give you another. One is taken. If somebody buys all 12, I'll cancel that because I didn't get the money from him yet. I'll give him the 4 in the back. All right. But we like the every day. There's another surprise. The moldings, the air conditioning is on now. I don't know if you feel it, but it's geschmack. It's steady. It's not too hot, not too cold. Beautiful. Mitsubishi, top of the line. We want top of the line windows. I think it's better actually that he canceled on us. Now we'll get from the Jew. We'll have to pay another 25%, but it'll be better quality, I hope. Yeah, but 25% of Hekdesh money. What? We're gonna gain 25. Very good. Okay, I'm asking. Makabel. You can see from everything else. This is Jewish work. The drywall, you'll see it's perfect. Everything lasers and everything. Anything that wasn't Jewish work, like the railing that's missing, that's. Yeah, okay, whatever. Talking about, yeah, I was a little upset that the first davening here in this base medrash was not a Jewish davening. All right. So what about Avinenu? It says that a worker should do Avinenu. Zog the Gemara, Amar Rav Sheshes Leikashia, Harav Gamliel, Harav Yeshua. What? If somebody didn't hear, Noam said I should tell the Arab that's doing the windows that it's a mosque. Okay. Harav Gamliel, Harav Yeshua. Anyways, there's a machlokes later on in the Masechta. If you're allowed to say, or you could even say every day, any person could say Havinenu, and on that's the famous Abaya that says if you say Havinenu, you get cursed. Obviously, not somebody in war like this English siddur, but stop a yeshiva guy that wants to run through Shemona Esrei should not say Havinenu. But Rabbi Yeshua says you could say Havinenu. Rabbi Gamliel says you have to say the whole Shemona Esrei. Rabbi Yeshua, so why are we talking about a worker? Anybody says Havinenu. You have to say the whole Shemona Esrei. If a person gets a salary, so he gets a lot of money, you have to be careful on every minute. Imagine those days. He'd work, and all he got was a meal. He worked for his meal. Now, I don't know how much he worked. Maybe he worked for half an hour to get his meal, but he worked and all he got was meal. If all he got was a meal, then you can't be strict with him. Give him an extra minute to say the whole Shemona Esrei or whatever it takes. Latanya, because that's included, a person understands. If I'm paying you big cash, I'm giving you a meal plus cash, you gotta give me every second. It's the umdina, the muchach kind of thing. It's like, what do people expect from the workers? If I'm only giving him a sandwich, I can't expect every second. He has to be able to daven also. Latanya, and I'll prove it to you. It says, over here, Mispalim is referring to Shemona Esrei, but Havinenu in Shemona Esrei, not the full Shemona Esrei. You don't make a bracha before. Imagine, you don't even wash your hands. You don't have time for that. Your boss doesn't allow that. Why? Because the bracha before bread is not a doiraisa. But the bracha, the Birkas HaMazon, which is the doiraisa, they do say. But pay attention, it says here shtayim. We usually say 4 brachas. Over here, he only says 2. Okay, he said, how do you make 3 into 2? Because the 4th one is the Rabbanon. How do you make 3 into 2? Okay, he said, bracha rishona kitikuna. There's no monkey business with the first one that you say normally. Shniya, al arz v'al hamazon. And b'nei Yerushalayim, you have to combine together. B'seh b'birkas ha'aretz v'koylim b'nei Yerushalayim b'birkas ha'aretz. The 4th one, uvnei Yerushalayim, forget about it. I mean, not the 4th, after that. And it says mefurish over here that this is a guy that gets a salary. If he only gets food, if the boss works with them, they should bench normally. This is a sugi we had already, word for word. How do I know the concept of mitzvah? It says if you're already doing a mitzvah, why should the mitzvah of Kriya Shema come before the mitzvah I'm doing right now? Comes to exclude a chazan and Kriya Shema. And again, because a chazan is different than every mitzvah. It's in his head. What do you see this in the pasuk? It says, it should say what's baderech? Maderech rishus, just like it's your choice whether you want to go on a trip or not. We're talking about something that's a rishus. It's not, you're not mechuyev to do this mitzvah. As the Gemara, Milaskin in the cause of the mitzvah, could also be talking about a case where he's going to a mitzvah. Nevertheless, the Torah says he should read. My belechtecha means yours. The mitzvah petiras. So it says in the pasuk Lechtecha, You're going, in other words, you decided to go, that's when you're chayiv, but if the Torah is mechayiv you,
Why is it colored whether she's a basula
oh, so, no, he's concerned, no, the tirda is the basulim, he's concerned about basulim. If she has basulim, or how to do with basulim, it seems like, what? You know?
That's part of the mitzvah, but also there's proof as well.
Yeah, but he's not tired with that. That's not the tirda is the psulim. He's concerned about the psulim. What's going on here? You see it later on. I think you see it here, or maybe I saw it inside somewhere that it's the psulim. If he doesn't find out, yeah, because after 4 days, they explain why after 4 days.
Rashi brought it up in the first time we had this tomorrow.
Yeah, but you see also why after 4 days, there's no. Let's say there's no Maisa and it's 7 days. He should still be Tarid. The answer is because he's not so Tarid because he's already Meicheler. What's the Mechila? Mechila is if he finds that she's not a Psula, he'll still be Meicheler because now you got to know her already. So you see it's about the Psulim themselves. Yehachi Ma'iri HaKonis Psula Afilu Konis Halmona Nami Hacha Tarid V'Achalei Tarid. By Almana he's not preoccupied. By Psula he's preoccupied. Imishum Tirda, but if it has to do with occupation in your head, Afilu Tovas Vinase Bayom Nami. So even if his ship sank, so that's his own tirda, his head is full with other stuff. So when we learned it the first time, this was the cartoon. It's America sinking, Obama with his tchelas. I decided to up it a shtickle. But this is more la halacha. This is just entertainment. I got this. I think it's I'd better say Kriya Shema. There's this guy right over here. He's sinking, it's a reshus. These guys are, and this is a mitzvah. Here's a chas and a kala, this sailing on their way. They don't have to be worried about Kriya Shema. What? Right. No, so obviously, Tovas Vinos B'Yam is not his own. Whoa! Rav Chanan Feinstein from Lincolnwood. A Magachir, Choshev Magachir, he was actually featured on the video of the Siyam HaShatz. What a schus. It's a big surprise. Yishkoyach Rav Chanan. What? Oh, we have a seat. Sit over here. Just in time for the cartoon. From Yerushalayim, another guest from Yerushalayim. All right, beautiful. Okay. When I come to Chicago, the guys say that he doesn't want you to know, but he uses your cartoons. Say the no. This other guy, this Magachir, I have to tell him, Yosef, you can tell him, this Russian guy asked, how much does it cost to use our charts? It's free, anybody can use it. It's the more the better.
You get them by the app.
You get them by that, but another guy said that if you try to take a chart from the app, it crashes the app. That somebody just wrote me this morning.
They update the app.
You have to update the app, okay. 10 minutes. Really?
I was listening in the car.
Oh. Where's my thing? I don't know what happened there. Okay. I don't know where it is. Okay. We had this sugi so we can fly through it. Why is it that an ovel who has a tirda, he's thinking about his beloved one they just buried, he's chayiv in all the mitzvahs, chutz minat tefillin, shari nema imper. Shenema perach chavish alecha. Because Baruch told Yecheskel that he has to wear tefillin, but avelim don't wear tefillin. Why? Because they have the dirt on their head, they're misgoyel betzar. Ami hasan tirda the rishos, hacha tirda the mitzvah. This is it. This is the ship of rishos. Rishos, it's your problem. You decided to go through this. Memela Yechayev. You are obligated to take the tirda out of your head. You have a chiyuv, you have an obligation to say Kriya Shema. Your money is sinking in the ocean, that's your problem. But when you have a mitzvah, the Torah told you to do mitzvah, and that caused the tirda, that gives you a ptur. Oh, here it is.
That one also has the Obama flag on it.
It does? Oh, yeah, it does have the... Kids are Republicans drew this thing. Zog the Mishnah, Rochatz Laila Rishon Shemeisa Ishtar. Rabbi Gamliel, continue with Rabbi Gamliel. He bathed himself the first night after they buried his wife. What about the fact that you shouldn't wash yourself? It's also for an ovel to bathe himself. Says Rashi, he's spoiled. He's me'unag. In other words, he doesn't bathe himself for hana. That's the isser. Because he has to. It's partial. Without that, he can't live. Ukshemes Tavi Avdo, his famous slave. There's a Gemara in Baba Kama that says that he wanted to let his slave Tavi out, so he blinded him. Interesting Gemara. How does that fit into our Mishnah? I wasn't so sure, because it says, Ukshemes Tavi Avdo, Kibalov Tam Chumim. People were menachem. They said, "I'm walking menachem." Over here it says he was an eved. Over there it says that he was freed. I don't know. Like I have to look it up over there. He's different. Kosher. He's a chashav slave that he learned a lot of Torah. I'm not going to go into the safari because every daf has a little to do with the safari. But whoever goes to the safari, the only Isaacson will see there's a guy there that I don't know how to call him because in America it's called an African American. Over there, there's an African who is mamish a Talmud Chacham. He said a Dvar Torah. I'm serious. He gave a Dvar Torah with Rambans and the whole thing. That I found out he went to yeshiva when he's younger, but he's a complete guy. But he's unbelievable. He makes the whole trip because he tells you, Kidwell, yeah, very good, Kidwell, Kidwell. If he's probably watching also. So now, hold on, we got 10 minutes afterwards. A chasan, everybody else could besides you. Chasan, I'm just what to say.
No, because normally if I have someone who lives in your house,
yeah,
you have the obligation to go and...
But this is all avodim are like this.
No, Tavi was different because he was like a korv.
But every Ev is like that. Okay, fine. He treated him like a karv. That's why he tried to take tanchumim from him. You answer another question. How could he take tanchumim on somebody he's not even related to? He treated him like a son. Very good. If a chassan wants to be a machmer and say kriya shema, he can. It's gaiva to do it. Well, basically, you're saying that I could have kavana when everybody else can't have kavana. Shulchan Aruch is brought down that today it's the opposite. Since we are not mechaven anyways, so a person that's not mechaven, who says, this is going to hurt my kavanah, you're saying that you're always mechaven. You should know you're never mechaven, so tonight you should also say Kriya Shema like everybody else. Says the Gemara, my time in the Rim Gamliel, Kosover, Aninus, Laila de Rabbanon. The second part of Aninus, there's Aninus and then Avelos. The first day is Aninus. So he says the night part, and then the Aninus is the Raisa. So Aninus Chachamim were not goizer on Istanis. The famous line that people say, Amokim Menachem Aleim, Amokim Menachem Eschem, you don't do it by Avodim Ushvachas. Birkas Avelim. Birkas Avelim, Rashi says, is a bracha called Rechava, like a street that the first Suda, the Sudas Havra, there's a special bracha that you give this. So you don't do Birkas Avelim, the Tanchumim Avelim, you don't say Amokim Menachem. Maisu Shivchazis Rebbe Eliezer. They went in to be Menachem Oval. Kivin Shiro Isom Olalali. He ran away from them. Volu Achrov, and they ran after him. Nichnas Lan Pilo, and he went to a room within a room. Nichnas Achrov, Nichnas Latraklin, Nichnas Achrov. They kept on chasing him. Omalahem Kimedumani Shatem Nichmim Bepoishrim. I thought you get a hint with warm. Achshav Yatem Nichmim Afilu Bechami Chamim. You don't get any hints. Like Achshanisi Lochem. There's a whole famous joke, Maisa. Not for now. But you can insert your jokes here with the guys that don't get hints. You're not menachem somebody that lost a slave. So what do you say? The same thing when you lose any valuable fill your laws. Tanya Yidach. Avodim Shvachas Ein Maspid Moisam. You shouldn't even give a hesped. Im Evet Kasher, he's a Talmud Chacham. Omer Malav, Hoy Ish Toiv. What a great man. V'neman. And he was trustworthy. V'nehenami Giyoi. And he benefited from his own toil, from his own work. Omer Loim came Hanach L'Ksherim. That's exactly a hesped you say on a kosher Jew. Tanur Rabbanon. Ein Korin Avos Elo L'Shleisha. You could only call the three avos. Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov avos. Vein koyer mi mois ala arba. Only the mois. Avos my time. Why can't we say in the schusar avos Yehuda? Like most of us come from Yehuda or Levi. So say in our forefathers schus Levi. Maybe shad is because we don't know who we come from exactly. We don't know which mother we come from. Tvei lechashivi. When it comes to real chashivas, it's only the three, and that's it. Tanya idach, avodim shvachos and koyin oisem abba. Rashi says, Mister. Ke'ein shonu koyin machshav mar ploini, Mister so and so, moras ploinis. So you don't say Abba. In those days, that was the title. Abba ploini, v'ima ploinis. Shemim liel, koyin oisem abba ploini, v'ima ploinis. If they know Shas, you're allowed to call them Abba. Maisa listar. You told me a contradiction? No, mishum chashivi, because they were chashiv. Omer Rebbe Lazar, Maidich Siv, Kein Avarechacha B'chayoy. This is how I'll give you a bracha Kadosh Baruch Hu in my life. B'shimcha esokapai. So the Marshal learns B'chayoy means Torah. So what does it mean? Kein Avarechacha B'chayoy. How do I bless you with Torah? Zukri Shema. Because the least amount of learning, as the Gemara is going to say later, a person should do every day is say Kriya Shema. Like this is Yotz at least Talmud Torah twice a day. And with, how am I going to bless your name? I'll raise my hands. Like fats. My nefesh will be satiated. So if you daven Shemona Esrei and say Kriya Shema, you get Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba. Shenem Avasifsei Renonos. It's a plural lashon. Yihalel Pi. Rebbe Lozo bossed them Simon Sloisi. So now we have an issue. If Shemona Esrei was Anshi Knesset Agdoila, and they told us exactly what to say, so it's not an individual tefillah. How do you make it? How do you make it yours? So when you finish Shemona Esrei, you insert your own tefillah. You make it your own. How? So the Gemara brings all these beautiful tefillahs here. Rebbe Lazar bossed them Simon Sloisi and goes all the way into tomorrow. When you finish Shemona Esrei, you would say, Yehiratzim milfanecha Hashem Elokeinu, shetashkim b'pureinu, should put in our house, ahava va'achva, brotherhood, the shalom, v'reyos, companionship, all the shyness of achdus, v'tarbeg v'uleinu v'talmidim, you should give us talmidim, v'tatzlich, soifeinu achris v'tikva, and the future should be full of hope. V'sasim chalkeinu v'gan Eden, we should have gan Eden, v'sakneinu b'chover toiv, v'yetzer toiv b'lomecha, v'nashkim, and we should wake up early in the morning, v'ninso yichul avavenu li'ir shemecha, we should yearn to have Yir Shamayim. I don't know exactly how it fits in with Hakol B'dei Shamayim, Chutz Mi Yir Shamayim. V'tov l'fanecha koros nafshenu l'toiva. And we should have all that we need, all our needs. Rabbi Yochanan Basad Messiah Tzleis Omahachi. Yiratzim l'fanecha Hashem Elokeinu. Shetotzitz b'vashtenu. You should peek and see our shame. V'sabed b'ra'asenu. Rashi explains. You shouldn't see our bad. You should see how bad we have it. V'sislabish b'rachamecha. You should dress, you should use your midas harachamim. V'skasabu zecha. And your strength. V'sisate v'chasidusecha. You should treat us with chasidus. V'sisase v'chaninusecha. Graciousness. V'tav v'necha midas tuvcha. V'nfusunusecha. V'anvusunusecha. Say it 10 times, Rabbi. Say quickly. V'anvusunusecha. V'zeh Rabbasim V'sayim Shleisei Oma'achi. Yiratzim v'fanecha Hashem Elokeinu. Shloi nechta. We shouldn't sin. V'shloi nevoish. We shouldn't be embarrassed. We shouldn't be shameful from our forefathers. Our main object is to learn Torah. We shouldn't have pain in our hearts. Our eyes shouldn't be dimmed. And this we incorporated into the tefillah for a Chodesh benching. Shetitin lanu chaim arukim, long life. Chaim shel shalom, chaim shel toiva, chaim shel bracha, chaim shel banasa, chaim shel chilutz atzomos, chaim sheyesh b'hem yiras chet. Finally, I have an answer to the question that everybody asks. Why does it say twice? Yiras shemayim v'yiras chet. The answer is it doesn't say twice. Sheyesh b'hem yiras chet. Our siddur sticks it in twice. I don't know why. So over here it says chaim sheyesh b'hem yiras chet without yiras shemayim. Chaim she'em b'hem bushu chlima. Chaim shel yoshev v'chavod. Here it says Yerushalayim. You just asked me this, no? Like last month. Didn't you just ask me? Why it says twice? Rabbi Botza Sloisi Omahachi. Yiratzim v'fanecha Hashem Elokeinu v'kavasenu. Shedatzilenu mazi ponim. From those mechutzafim, umeazas ponim. In other words, from bad, terrible rumors, like that a person is a mamzer. Madam Ra, says Rashi. Madam Ra, from a bad person with pegara. Meyetzera, mechavera, meshachara, umesadan amashchis. from the Satan who destroys, Din Kosher and Valdin Kosher. Ben Shu Ben Bris if he's a guy or a Yid, Ben Shenu Ben Bris, a guy, Vafagav, the Kaimi, Kotzoitz Ale the Rebbe. Even though Antonino says Rashi gave him bodyguards and he doesn't have all these people coming to him, nevertheless, Rebbe said it every single day. Have a wonderful day. Welcome to our guest.